So hi, welcome to this episode of History Hunters. We're in the Eternal Hills Memorial Park here in Oceanside, California. We're going to check out some graves of some interesting folks who were involved in the entertainment industry, as well as a well-known professional football player. I'll tell you all about it on this episode of History Hunters. This is just a very beautiful place where folks' ashes are being interred around this beautiful pond. And one of the first graves I want to talk to you about is the grave of Paul O.W. Tanner, who was a musician with the Glenn Miller Band. And it appears that his remains are located in this area. Right up here by the road is a marble statue that commemorates the life of Paul O.W. Tanner, trombonist for the Glenn Miller Band from 1939 to 1942. Of course, you know Glenn Miller died in a plane mishap over the English Channel, I believe. And there's a statue of Paul O.W. Tanner. It's very small, but it has the words of Moonlight Serenade on it. Dream on how we dream, many a dream of tomorrow. The time has come and we've begun in our lifetime of love. Tears of yesteryears were from the fears now forgotten. But love is now, and we can vow this love is forevermore. We bask in moonlight and reach for many a star. At the break of dawn, the moon is gone. Still lovers we are.
Jazz musician Paul O.W. Tanner was barely out of his teens when he was discovered in a burlesque club by Glenn Miller while he was playing in his brother's act. He joined the wildly popular Glenn Miller Orchestra and recorded some of their best-known hit recordings, including String of Pearls and In the Mood. Tanner left the band in 1942 to join the U.S. Army. Tanner also taught music at UCLA for 23 years and authored many books on trombone methodology. Another claim to fame was his accidental invention of a strange electronic music device called the electrotheremin. It is best known for its use in the 1966 Beach Boys song Good Vibrations. With its otherworldly timbre, the theremin became associated with spookiness and the supernatural.
I think that's a pretty cool memorial there for Mr. Tanner. And right here is a guitar. And there we go. There is the grave of football great Junior Seau, who committed suicide in 2013. He was a football legend here, San Diego Chargers.
Junior Seau was an Oceanside native who became famous playing professional football. He played for the San Diego Chargers for 13 seasons and led them to Super Bowl 29 in 1995 before being traded to the Miami Dolphins, where he spent 3 years and spent his last 4 seasons with the New England Patriots. Seau committed suicide by shooting himself in the chest in 2012 at the age of 43. He was elected posthumously to the Professional Football Hall of Fame in 2015. The National Institute of Health concluded that Seau suffered from CTE, a brain disease believed to be caused by repetitive head trauma and can lead to conditions such as dementia, rage, and depression. Despite his exceptional football career, things began to unravel in his personal life. He became distant to family members and he frequently lost his temper. He lost a great deal of money through his gambling addiction. Seau escaped death in October 2010 when his SUV plunged down a 100-foot cliff in Carlsbad only hours after he was arrested for domestic abuse following an incident reported to the police by his girlfriend at their home in nearby Oceanside. Seau claimed that he fell asleep at the wheel, and he was never charged with domestic abuse. On May 2, 2012, Seau's girlfriend returned home and found him dead with a gunshot wound to the chest at his home in Oceanside.
911 emergency.
He left no suicide note, but he did leave a piece of paper in the kitchen with lyrics of a country song that described a man who regretted the person he had become. The community and news media flocked to his home on the beach, where Junior's mother held a tearful press conference.
But I pray to God, please, take me, leave my son, but it's too late, too late.
Buried here with Junior is his younger brother, Antonio Seau, who died of a 2013 heart attack at the age of 36. He also had a troubled life. In 1993, Tony Seau pleaded guilty to attempted murder for his role in a gang-related shooting in Oceanside and served time in the California Youth Authority. While playing at Eastern Washington University in 2002, he survived being shot in the head during a gang-fueled argument at a college party. On the day of our visit to the Oceanside Cemetery, which happened to be on February 20th, 2022, we had no idea that Junior's brother Savai had just died in a traffic crash just 19 days prior. Plans are to bury him here as well.
Apparently his birthday was not too long ago. Here's his happy birthday insignia. There's a picture of him filming. Looks like probably a friend of his. His suicide shocked the entire community of Oceanside. So right below his name there, you will see a Professional Football Hall of Fame insignia placed right there on his marker. Oh, this is very touching. Somebody put this rock here, says, "I thought I would bring the ocean to you. Much love. Because you were always a light to others," as this rock. These 4 rocks are painted for Tony, Tony. The guitar in the corner. Philippians 1:21, "For me to live is Christ, and to die is gain."
I have great friends. I have a great pastor. I have a foundation here. I've been able to plant seeds in a community to make my home. So there's a lot of rings there that I've been able to gain in 13 years. I'm proud of those rings. So for me to say that I'm going to give all that up for a Super Bowl, I take my rings away. So am I after one? Yes. But I already won.
So now we're going to go check out the grave of Karen Black, famous actress from the 1970s. In fact, she's probably the most famous person buried here in this cemetery. So the day that we picked is a Sunday. It's a beautiful day here in Southern California. It's really a day that probably seems like a summer day, but as you can tell behind me is a beautiful hillsides of Oceanside. We're on the back side of the cemetery, and specifically wanted to find the grave of Karen Black. She's right over here where the American flags are. And it's a fairly recent marker. When you talk about recent, to 2013 is when she passed away. It says beloved actress, writer, wife, mother, and friend, 1939 to 2013. And a saying of hers, "To love someone is to make them feel seen." She was actually born as Karen Ziegler. She took her name Black from her first husband, who was Charles Black, and she began her film career in 1959 with a small role in Prime Time. In 1965, she made her Broadway debut in The Playroom. In 1967, she appeared in guest roles in several TV series, including The FBI, Run for Your Life, The Big Valley, Iron Horse, Adam 12, and Mannix. Now, in 1969, her career pretty much took off when she appeared as the doped-out prostitute opposite Dennis Hopper and Peter Fonda in Easy Rider.
Are you kidding me?
What are these things?
Hey, well, what are these things? What are these, huh?
The following year, she appeared as Rayette, the waitress girlfriend of Jack Nicholson, in the film 5 Easy Pieces, for which she was nominated for an Academy Award as the Best Supporting Actress. And in 1974, her version of The Great Gatsby, she played the unfaithful wife Myrtle Wilson. Also in 1974, she starred as Nancy Pryor, the stewardess who was forced to fly the plane in the disaster film Airport 1975.
I'm gonna have to help you make the turns yourself.
I'm gonna turn the plane.
No sweat.
After 1976, her career kind of tailed off into numerous horror roles, and after a string of forgettable movies, she won rave reviews for her role in Come Back to the Five and Dime, Jimmy Dean, 1982. In 2010, she was diagnosed with cancer, and outside of an appearance in the film House of a Thousand Corpses, she did not make any more public appearances. So Karen Black died in 2013 from cancer. I understand she was a Scientologist. She considered herself a spiritual person, and she was very friendly to everyone that she encountered. This cemetery has some pretty cool artwork scattered throughout. This is a very unique way of honoring somebody, Gwendolyn Jones. She died in 2001, and check it out. It's like a book. Reads like an obituary. Now Karen Black's grave is over here where these flags are. But right over here I found this grave for a young boy. It's like he died just for his 10th birthday. Isn't that sad? Well, not everybody in the cemetery had affiliations with TV or movies. In fact, there's an Olympic gold medalist right here, and it's the grave of Earl J. Thomas. Lived from 1895 to 1971. He was actually a gold medalist. In 1920, he qualified for the Canadian Olympic team. He went on to win a gold medal in the 110-meter hurdles, making him the first ever non-U.S. gold medalist in that event. Thomas was born in Canada, and when he was 8 years old, his mother moved from Canada to Southern California for health reasons. While he was here, he sustained a near-fatal shotgun blast to the chest, and doctors thought he wasn't going to make it, but he did. He later attended Long Beach Polytechnic College, where in 1915 he got involved in the hurdles, and he actually became a champion at the state meet. Now, the other interesting thing is that he retained his Canadian citizenship, and in 1916 he joined the Royal Canadian Air Force, serving during World War I. Then he returned to finish his education at Dartmouth and was elected the captain of the 1921 track team. So Thomas is buried really close to the road, a little bit away from the office and the bathroom, down this road right here. Now I'm assuming that's his wife, who died in 1997. It always seems like the women outlast the men. So we came inside. Fortunately, there's nobody here today. It's a Sunday afternoon, and we're here in this mausoleum to check out a grave of somebody who was in TV and movies for over 40 years, Richard Dick Simmons. You may know him as Sergeant Frank Preston, who appeared in the TV series Sergeant Preston of the Yukon. He's buried right behind me in this niche over here. You will find him up here at the very top, which makes it kind of difficult to get to, but fortunately I have a stick. Now, check it out. It has a picture of him, a little ceramic of a dachshund, and the remains of both actress and his wife, Nora, who passed away in 1987. There's a little picture of both of them up there.
Sergeant Preston of the Yukon was a CBS TV show that ran 78 episodes from 1955 to 1958. Because the series was filmed in color, it remained popular in reruns, and starting in the early 1960s, it was shown on Saturday mornings. The star of the show, of course, was Richard Simmons as Sergeant William Preston and as Alaskan Malamute Yukon King.
Sergeant Preston of the Northwest Mounted Police with Yukon King, swiftest and strongest lead dog breaking the trail in the relentless pursuit of lawbreakers in the wild days of the Yukon.
After the short-lived series was over, Simmons appeared in numerous TV shows, even playing Eddie Munster's school principal in an episode of The Munsters in 1964. Simmons was born in 1913 in Minnesota and became interested in acting while in college. In 1937, he became an MGM contract player. Many of his minor movie roles went uncredited through the 1930s. One even included his portrayal of a Mountie in King of the Royal Mounted, produced by Republic Pictures. Between 1943 and 1949, Simmons appeared in 17 films, but he interrupted his acting career to serve as a pilot with the Air Transport Command during World War II. As his years advanced and acting roles dried up, Simmons managed a mobile home park in Carlsbad, California. On January 11, 2003, he fell victim to Alzheimer's disease when he died at the age of 89 in an Oceanside nursing home.
So sometimes you encounter some really unusual niches. This one of a Stephen Killeney Jr. lived from 1943 to looks like 2020. And he's got a little Exxon truck there, assuming that he was an Exxon truck driver. Over here on the back side of the cemetery on this rolling hill, you will find the Driscoll grave. The individual that I want to talk about right now is not buried in this cemetery, but his parents are buried right here. It's kind of a cenotaph, but it's also the grave marker for his father, Cletus L. Driscoll, who died in 1969. And his son was known as Bobby Driscoll, one of the first Disney child actors. He appeared in Song of the South and Treasure Island. He left Hollywood completely in 1957 to find some regular work. He slid downhill very quickly.
Bobby Driscoll was a highly acclaimed child actor who won a special Oscar for his starring role in 1949's The Window and was the first child actor placed under exclusive contract by Disney Studios. He is best known for his work in the Disney films Song of the South in 1946 and Treasure Island in 1950. His career actually started with a haircut. His father, who was an installation salesman and former school teacher, took Bobby to get a trim at the age of 5 at a barber shop in Pasadena. The barber told him that he should be in movies and invited the Driscolls out to his home to meet his son, who was in movie work. That earned Bobby an appointment with an agent, and the rest is history. Bobby Driscoll was not a happy child. Trying to forge a new path in life, Driscoll left his parents' home at age 16 and made trips to New York City to study acting. He continued to find roles in TV shows, however, like Dragnet and Rawhide, and attempted to settle into a normal domestic life, but he fell into heroin use. He told a reporter, quote, "I was earning $50,000 a year, working steadily with good parts. Then I started putting all my spare time in my arm. I'm not really sure why I started using narcotics. I was 17 when I first experimented with the stuff. In no time at all, I was using whatever was available, mostly heroin, because I had the money to pay for it." His life quickly slid downhill after numerous arrests for drug possession, assault, and forgery, and also a 6-month prison sentence and a stay at a psychiatric hospital. No one seems to know how the 31-year-old Driscoll spent his final days in New York City and why he ended up in an abandoned apartment where kids found his body. He is buried in Potter's Field on Hart Island.
So I spent about 20 minutes looking for the grave of Lloyd Haynes, who was one of the stars of Room 222 back in the 1960s and 70s. I remember that show. He's a Marine. He's buried over the veteran section, but I could not find the grave to save my soul because the Find a Grave GPS coordinates were way off. All I'm going to have to do is be able to show you a picture of the grave and talk to you a little bit about him.
Lloyd Haynes was born in South Bend, Indiana, and served in the Marines from 1952 to 1964 and served in the Korean War. He is best known for 2 memorable roles, one as history school teacher Pete Dixon on the TV series Room 222, and as Mayor Morgan on the daytime drama General Hospital. Room 222 ran 112 episodes for 5 seasons from 1969 to 1974. The show centered on fictional Walt Whitman High School in an extremely racially diverse school in Los Angeles. American history teacher Pete Dixon delivered gentle lessons in tolerance and understanding to his students. They admired his wisdom, insight, and easygoing manner.
Good night, Ralph.
He's a nice guy.
Very nice.
He certainly is interested in history.
Very interested.
He's dull, Pete.
Very dull.
He also appeared on Batman, The Fugitive, Marcus Welby, MD, and Dynasty. For feature films, he appeared in Madigan and Ice Station Zebra, both in 1968, The Mad Room 1969, The Greatest 1977, and Good Guys Wear Black 1978. He died in Coronado of lung cancer at age 52.
So I think that's going to wrap up this episode of History Hunters. We would love it if you left us a comment. Maybe if you remember some of the people that we featured in this episode, maybe some of the TV shows that you remember. We would love to see the comments below. Give us a like, and always tell your friends about History Hunters. Thank you so much.